Sugahbee. It's great to see that you stopped by my channel. Thank you for checking me out. I have a 4-card reading again today, and lighting a little bit of sage here. It's wonderful smelling. I love this smell. I'm going to put this right here. Okay, and I am using the same tarot deck by Jessie Jumanji. It is the Afro Tarot. It's a quaint deck that's in a very quaint box here. However, the illustrations are so right on target when it comes to looking at this African tradition in the explanation of tarot. So, the first card that I pulled, it's a major arcana card, and this is the Fool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and explain these cards as I'm going, because these cards are the information on here is so pertinent. This is where we as a collective are receiving messages from the ancestors about our disposition in life right now. We are standing here like the Fool. We make very careless decisions. Our decisions are not based on a lot of history. We may also do things very carelessly, and we take things, we move forward without having all of the information to help us to do better. Now, some risk is good, but when we look at the totality of what's happening with the diaspora today, the risk that we take in accepting help from certain people or believing in these different ideas, whether it's these spiritual religious ideas or even political things, we don't have a good track record. We did at one point in time, and because we were put in a position of being the minority and how we were taken advantage of, we were beat on, our ideas were stolen. Even when you look at how we were the originator or the creator of certain patents, but because we as a collective were not looked upon as a full human being, then people stole our ideas and put their names on them as if they were the originator of the idea. But yet here we, in a foolish position, still continue to think that we can trust certain groups of people politically and religiously. That's what I'm getting. And let me tell you, what I do know is that when the ancestors are coming through, they're not very nice because they have seen the road already, and it's not easy. So we can sugarcoat things, we can play like everything is going well in certain communities, but as long as we keep trusting in persons that do not have our best interests, who have never had our best interests, as long as we keep aligning ourselves with their agenda, we're not going to get very far. That's just bottom line. Look at the next card, 5 of Swords. So here we're talking about change the way we talk and change the way we think. And you might think that you have, or we have come a long way in connecting with groups of people, let's just say politically, and even spiritually. You know, everybody's on this woke, this woke narrative. There is really nothing woke about the narrative. If you were still finding yourself aligned with a religious belief that was not yours to begin with, then what is your thinking? How can you think in a way that, or how can we think in a way if we're possessing behavior and conditions of people that put us in shackles, right? What are we doing? We're not thinking very well. We're not speaking very well. But sometimes we speak in a way that we think we're really authoritative. You know, we have the authority. We know what we're doing. But yet we go right back to this right here, and there's the Fool. We take a risk, and we don't listen very well, and so therefore we don't have a good grasp on what we need to do to change. It was too much bickering. Now look at this, 5 of Cups. So here we have communication. So our communication needs to change right here. And that's where I said it's too much bickering. We have a lot of people that want to be the leader, but nobody wants to be subject, right? It's just the way it is. And we've had leaders that speak up, and then there's people that fight against them, that of their own kind. We had people that did not like Martin Luther King because of what his ideology was. And then we have people that try to take his narrative and change it so that we didn't get to hear as persons behind the movement. We're thinking that I Have a Dream was all that we needed to hear, which was about segregation and equality in education and being in the same schools. But we didn't get to hear his other subsequent and more developed concerns for his community and what we were owed as a people, right? So it goes right back here to being a fool. And so because we're a fool, then we don't think right, and we literally have a sharp tongue for ignorance. And then here, right here, we get to bickering, and we don't know who to trust, because definitely we're not able to trust the people that we have said should be in leadership. We look at Malcolm X, right? People had concerns about Malcolm X. Then he goes to Mecca, and then he comes back, and he's a changed man. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. So nobody knows who to trust any longer. This is what's happening to us here, even today, in this spiritual warfare. We have this groups that will say, I'm a witch, and I'm Wicca, and I'm an Ajay, and I'm Ifa, and I'm Yoruba. But it's all against each other. Because those other entities allow us to hold these particular spiritual ATRs, African traditional religions, within their construct. And it's really interesting because we say, oh, we want to hear messages from our ancestors, right? But then we'll go to people that don't necessarily look like us, and their grandparents definitely didn't like us. And we're supposed to listen to someone give us some information about, yes, you are, and you're going to have, and this is going to open up for you. But their great grandparents didn't want that for you. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Here, the last card that shows up, and it shows up reversed. Nine of Cups. Usually this is a celebration card. Usually it's celebration because we're end of a cycle. We're end of karma. We're end of certain behavior and activity. But this is not what's happening. Nine of Cups seems like we keep wasting our good words, our good emotions, our good feelings for false promises. And we have to get to a place where we can work collectively and be okay that somebody is in charge. We need a few good leaders. But every single time we have someone that's leading, then we have another one that's jealous. And we look like the crabs in the bucket. Or we have someone that says that they are for the people and education of our young people, but we can't figure out where the monies are going. We want to give more money, we want to give more support, but we don't see any good for our work, for our contribution. Because it is not that hard. If you want to get something done, you could, because those that were caught here in the Americas, they figured out a way to be able to communicate and to escape. Some were able to go up north where they could be free, and they did that as a collective. What I have been noticing is that our family in the other on the other continent. They are not falling victim to the old okey doke of those that have never had their best interest. We might need to start looking at that and figure out how we can go about making a change in our collective so that we're not bickering and fighting and scratching and clawing because someone else looks like they might be getting ahead. The key is to help someone get ahead so that we can reach back down and pull someone up, pull another up, pull another up, pull another up. So therefore, we are no longer the fool, but we become the master of the fools. That's my message today. I'll be back tomorrow with a message from the ancestors. Ashe.